About a month before I wrote this script, LaQuaid uploaded a video where he estimated how much Robux Hazem makes from Please Donate. Now, while the number he came up with isn't entirely inaccurate, I want to fix a few mistakes he made, so stick around and we can estimate Hazem's income from Please Donate. Also, if you catch any mistakes I make, be sure to comment them down below, as I would love to learn more about this. Alright, so first off, we need to get the most obvious source of income for Hazem, the live donation board, out of the way. This is very simple, just count all the donations that happen on the donation board in a certain amount of time, and multiply that out to however long we want. However, there are a few more steps before multiplying it out, and this is where LaQuaid made the first few mistakes I caught. Firstly, when LaQuaid counted the donations on the donation board, he counted the 6,000 Robux and 1,000 Robux donations that were pinned when he started counting. This makes the data inaccurate for a 1-minute clip. Secondly, his sample size for donations was too small. LaQuaid took 1 minute at an unknown time of day for his calculations, which is a problem as the amount of donations going through varies greatly throughout the day. I corrected this by taking not 1, but 8 different 20-minute clips of the donation board at 4 different times a day, each 6 hours apart. I took 4 clips on Wednesday, June 21st, and 4 clips on Saturday, June 24th. Now, I did not count every donation that happened in those 20-minute clips. I scrubbed through the entirety of each clip to get the number of blimps that went through, played it at 2 times speed for 5 minutes of footage to gather data on 1,000 Robux donations, and slowed them first minute enough for me to log every donation under 1,000 Robux. I had to do this 8 times. Well, 7. I accidentally recorded OBS Studio instead of donation board when I recorded the 5th clip, when I can't exactly determine donations based off sound alone. Either way, after all the work counting, I finally had a large enough sample size. Now that I had over 3,500 donations stored in a text file, I needed to count them all. I used a Python script to add them all together and to rectify another mistake I caught. In LaQuaid's video, he multiplied the sum of all the donations that went through by 0.1. This doesn't seem off at first, as Hazem takes 1/10 of all the Robux that people donate to each other. However, after a bit of testing, I discovered that any donation under 6 Robux gives nothing to Hazem. This also explains why 6 and 15 Robux donations give less than they should, because the extra Robux are going to Hazem. This is a huge issue in LaQuaid's estimation that takes about 10 to 15% of Hazem's income on small donations away, and I don't blame him for missing it. I only caught it because I'm always suspicious of Roblox's taxes, as they take more than they say on small donations way too often. Anyway, I used another Python script to count Hazem's actual earnings from each minute of donations, and I finally had all the donation board data. After adding it all up, I had an approximate total of 2,241,891 Robux for June 21st, and about 2,326,873 Robux for June 24th. So, Hazem makes about 2.3 million Robux a day from the donation board, not including what I and LaQuaid guess to be about 150,000 from nukes. This is something I do not have data for, so let me know what number you come up with for nukes. Also, on a similar note, I did not include Smite data at all, as they aren't always dropped every day and it would be way too hard to calculate. So, Hazem makes around 2.3 million Robux a day. However, of course it's not as simple as that. The number is, in reality, far higher. Now, this is the part of the video that I cannot prove. I know this and LaQuaid knows this. This is just my best guess. Now, let's get into Game Pass earnings. The reason why this is a guess is that I have no way of measuring Game Pass sales other than asking people which one they have and hoping they're being honest. If you've watched my content for at least a few weeks, you may have seen a few community posts I put out asking if you own certain Please Donate Game Passes. These polls got between 20 and 50 votes on them, so not a good sample size, but the best I could do. Now that I have a percentage of people with each Game Pass, I needed one more piece of data to multiply with. I needed to know exactly how many people play Please Donate. I thought of going to the Rollimon's website to see if they had a monthly active user count, which would tell me how many unique players play the game, but of course they don't. Instead, I had to go to another way of counting players built into Roblox itself. Badges. I used the welcome badge first, but that said that Hazem had made a total of over 25 million Robux a day and that he made over 10 billion Robux over the game's lifetime. This number is crazy high, but I don't think it's entirely impossible for certain games to achieve, but considering Please Donate has no reoccurring purchases, I doubt it's true. With this unrealistic estimate, I decided to estimate based off of players who had made a donation before. This number was much more realistic. Using the My First Donation badge multiplied with the percentage from the polls, I got a number of 6,594,247 Robux per day from Game Passes. This is insane, but actually pretty likely considering Please Donate gets around 4 million visits a day. Now that we've gotten the biggest two earners for Hazem out of the way, let's get some of the smaller ones done. Something LaQuate took into account was premium payouts, and in this case, I actually trust his number of 119,000 Robux a day more than my number of 1,149,764. LaQuate seems to have put in a lot more research than me, as I took my small games data and multiplied the Robux per visit that I got by 4 million to get a number for Please Donate. Well, LaQuate actually went and watched several videos on the subject. However, premium payouts are not the only area, and LaQuate forgot to cover one area of the game that generates a huge amount of Robux for Hazem: offline donation gifting. Though I guess overestimating on the donation board made up for it. Anyway, I did another YouTube poll, and using that averaged everyone's answers on how much they made from offline donations and found that about 9% of donations happened through gifting. If this is true, Hazem made about 201,770 Robux on June 21st and 209,418 Robux on June 24th from offline donations. This may not seem like much compared to everything else, but remember that it's still giving Hazem the entirety of the Robux that I have raised over 3 months in about 12 hours. And now on to the final thing I must estimate, which unlike in LaQuate's video is not avatar item purchases. I feel like 10,000 Robux is too small to make any difference, and I have no way to collect that data. Instead, we'll be using another income source for Hazem that LaQuate couldn't possibly have estimated, as this video came out before it was added. I'm talking about advertisement billboards. This is still a newer feature which just released on July 9th, and it has a ridiculously high price point coming in at 100,000 Robux per day, 70,000 of which goes to Hazem. As of July 18th, several people have bought ad slots, however the number seems to be declining. Either way, we will assume that an average of 5 ad slots are filled each day for a total of 350,000 Robux per day to Hazem. Now that we have all the numbers, let's add them together. The donation board's 2,241,891 plus the 6,594,247 from Game Passes gets us to 8,836,138 Robux per day, plus around 150,000 Robux a day from nukes brings us to 8,986,138 Robux. Adding premium payouts in using LaQuate's estimation of 119,000 Robux per day brings us up to 9,105,138 Robux per day. Adding in offline donations gives us 9,306,908 Robux, and finally the estimated 350,000 Robux per day of billboard revenue gives us a final estimation of Hazem's Robux, 9,656,908 Robux per day on a weekday, and swapping out donation data for weekends, as we have been using weekday data for this estimate, we get 9,749,538 Robux on weekends. That is enough to get the entirety of Project Supreme's raised Robux in a bit over a week, with Hazem's weekly income being roughly 67,783,616 Robux, his monthly income being around 290,501,192 Robux, and his yearly income being a mind-blowing estimated 3,534,431,396 Robux. However, this estimate heavily relies on my Game Pass numbers being correct, so if you don't think they're correct for any reason, let me know with a comment. I also highly suggest watching LaQuate's video, as my estimate without Game Pass data falls within a few 100,000 Robux per day of LaQuate's, and his video inspired me to create this video to give my own estimate of Hazem's income. His video is worth watching, and I'll let you decide whose estimate is more accurate. I'll link it in the description, go check it out. And with that, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.